Hey guys, it's Meg. I am back this week with a new video for you. This is going to be our standard tarot reading for the week. So if you guys want to see what messages come out of the cards for you, let's grab a blanket, comforting beverage, and yeah, let's hang out. I'm excited to be able to give you this message today. If you guys are interested in seeing more from me, please go ahead and click the like, subscribe, and the bell buttons. So if you have any interest in tarot reading or oracle reading, I would be happy to have you along for the ride. I have also included links to my social media and my website in the description below. So if you guys want to see more from me outside of YouTube, you can. I am taking private readings at this time. If you guys are interested, please let me know. My commissions pricing is listed in the description. It will be a link, but it should take you right to my pricing menu. If any of the links are broken, please let me know. I'll do my best to fix that, and we'll get connected somehow if you guys want to do that with me. If there's any way I can help you, probably would be the better way to put that. So yeah, let's get into some cards. I have a number of decks kind of off to the side of my camera here, and I'm going to do my best to credit them verbally. Normally I will, but because I have a high number of decks, I might forget. Everything I use in the video is listed in the description, so please go check. I mean, you already know where to check. So yeah, let's get into the reading. First thing I'm going to do is get into some oracles and kind of get a feel for the energy of the reading, and then our tarots are going to help us, kind of navigate that energy a little bit better. So the first card I want to talk about comes from the Moonology Oracle, and this is the full moon in Aquarius. This is asking us to show the world the real you. Who are you? Who am I? Who is the real Meg? Okay, who is the real viewer, dear viewer, my friend? If you are resonating with this message, there's a light in you that needs to shine. So, don't be afraid to show it. Okay. Our next card comes from the Archangel Animal. The Moonology is by Yasmine Boland. I believe this is by Diana Cooper. Again, check the description. I will have it accurately described there. But we have the dog. This is be disciplined in your home and community life. So what I'm sensing right off the bat is that I don't know just yet. Let's see. Let's see the final card and see what the message in totality is going to be. Our final card comes from the Gateway Oracle by Denise, Linn. And this is simplifying your life. I cherish the simple pleasures in life. And as you can see, there's, again, another character is clearing the clutter. Okay? So there's something, right off the bat, I'm sensing there's something in your space that's blocking you from really being you. And that you're being called to move it out of the way. That you're being called to do things for yourself that allow you to move that clutter out of the way. And I'm getting there because perhaps you've been working a lot. You've been taking a lot of responsibilities. You've been doing the most. it's time to take whatever it is you've been doing, maybe put it down for a little bit, and you know, if you're working, if you're raising kids, those are responsibilities that are big and they're long term. Okay. Don't forget to take some time for yourself. That's easy to say, harder to put into practice. But you have a call to find simple pleasures in your life. And, you know, you're through those simple pleasures, through engaging with those simple pleasures, you're going to find that your light comes through. Let me give you an example. Lately, I have been walking. There's a little picnic courtyard a couple of blocks from my house, and it's a beautiful courtyard. I never used to go up there because I would always be inside. I would always be clunking away at my blog and all of this, and I finally said, you know what, I'm gonna take a couple of days and go up there and see what it's about. And you know, now I'm feeling like, yeah, now I have to get back into it, but I'm feeling a lot better. I'm feeling a lot more composed, that I can actually do the work and get back into it. So I hope that example made sense. Let's get into some tarots to see how we can tap into the simple pleasures in our lives, and how we can use the discipline of tapping into that in order to let our light through, let our real selves through. Okay, so we are going to use this is the Star Spinner Tarot. I also have the Wandering Star, and I'm going to mention these both right now because I mixed these up in one of my previous videos. So let's get into the Star Spinner Tarot and see what message comes there. How do we rise to the call to action from our oracles? Okay. Okay. Alrighty, one more shuffle. I haven't used this deck in a while, so it's going to take a minute for it to wake up a little bit. Okay. So the first card I want to see is the Queen of Coins. So there's a call for us to nurture. I'm hearing the phrase nurture our growth. And it makes sense. It makes sense given the cards we just had. Nurture our growth, and I'm getting to that right off because coins are associated with the earth element. There's need for us to get rooted, but generally, the Queen of Coins talks about nurturing growth in terms of financial and material abundances. Generally, I think there's, in order for us to really get into who we are as people and enjoy our simple pleasures in life here, we need to let ourselves get rooted, and we need to let ourselves discover what those things are. Okay. Yeah, first of all, I think the first bit of advice I can give you is to get rooted. Okay. So our second card, oh, okay, we have the Queen of Swords. Interestingly enough, getting rooted, that's going to help us get a handle on our thoughts, okay? Because, you know, I'm sensing, if you are resonating with this, that there is someone very smart, very observant, very very powerful in your own right, because you're wielding a sword, okay? But that power, that those mental, I want to say feats, those the things you do in your head are very powerful. And, you know, I'm feeling the need to say, instead of being nurturing, maybe you're very hard on yourself. And I will raise my hand to that, because there's been a lot that I've been doing in my head that has been really, really hurtful, and I've had to battle against that. But yes, you're smart. Yes, you're observant. You need to potentially get a better handle on your thoughts. And I'm getting there because what I said about the Queen of Coins, getting rooted again is going to, or nurturing your growth, putting down a more solid foundation is going to help you get a handle on your mental, get a handle on your mental space as well. Okay. We also have the King of Coins. So getting an understanding of your self-worth. I'm getting to that, because kings to me are like the ultimate. They're the boss. They're the CEO. And it says king, that implies masculinity or malehood. That doesn't matter. If you're the boss. You're the boss, because look at this. You have 2 queens and a king. Okay? You know your self-worth. You know what it takes to nurture, putting down roots and getting your mind in check. Okay? You might need to tap into that gentler side, that more loving. Yeah, tap into your loving side. You can't do this nurturing if you're hard on yourself. You can't let your true self show if you don't know what you're about. Okay? So, let's see our hidden and clarifying energies. I'm going to get into another deck to explain a little bit further about why we're seeing the cards we're seeing. But right off the bat, I'm very intrigued because, I'm very intrigued because I feel like some of you are kind of lost, and I'm calling myself out by saying this here, but sometimes, I will start thinking things that are so bad, so horrible about myself. And, if I wouldn't say those things out loud to my best friend, why would I say them to me? Okay? Maybe that's resonating with you, and you're being called, there's a reason why this loving, maternal, nurturing energy is here. Okay? Because you want to figure out what you're about, what your self-worth is. You might have all the money in the world, but be completely spiritually broke. What are you about? Okay? What are you about, and how are you going to let this come through? Okay? So let me see the hidden and clarifying energy, and we'll get into some explanatory cards here. So our hidden energy is going to be the 3 of Coins. You may have to reach out for some help. And there's no shame. I'm not going to go any further than that because you guys are a smart crowd here. There's no shame in asking for help. There's absolutely no shame in asking for help, okay? Because generally the 3 of Coins is, it's about teamwork. It's about balancing old and new ideas. You may need to use this energy to shift your perspective, especially on yourself, okay? But ultimately reaching out might have to happen. And once again, there's absolutely no shame in that, okay? So there's the Three of Coins. Okay, so our hidden energy, our clarifying energy is the King of Wands. You're helping something new to grow. You might find new passions or inspirations, and you know things are going to be really, really powerful. And you know, you might have had an incident where you've been doing something that you thought was inspiring and you know, you could have done that for hours and maybe it became, something that was there, but it became dissatisfying to you, okay? And that's how you lost yourself. Like you put your identity towards this one thing, and that one thing fell apart or burnt out, and it made you feel closed off and sad, and it's like, oh, I've lost this, oh, I've lost that. It's back, and you understand it better because perhaps your perspective has changed. Your perspective on it has changed, okay? I want you to tap into the fire energy, okay? Kings are, Kings, again, are authoritative figures here. Okay, so they know, they know their self-worth. They understand their passions, okay? And maybe they're approaching who they are and what they're passionate for with some very gentle, they're coming at it gently because they're working on putting down roots, okay? Tap into that fire energy, because I promise you when you do that, it's going to, people will see it. People will see it. It's impossible to ignore a fire. It's impossible to ignore a fire, and you're starting to spark again. Okay? You've been sparking. Now it's time to let it go. Okay, so there is the King of Wands. Okay, we're going to move into the Wandering Star. So the Wandering Star by Cat Pierce. We're going to get some explanatory cards and see why we're getting the spread we're getting. We have 2 queens, we have 2 kings, we have a 3. Our oracle message is suggesting that we've been closed off, kind of conversely to the original message of let your light shine, find your simple pleasures, and be disciplined in how you are working towards that goal. So let me see some explanatory cards for the Queen of Coins, please. Can I see some explanation for the Queen of Coins, please? Okay. Interesting. We have the Ace of Swords. I'm going to read it in reverse. There's something, I feel like there's something you are blocking. Specifically the shift in perspective. Okay. And it's, okay, let me put it to you like this, because to me the Ace of Swords upright is the opportunity to allow new thoughts and new ideas to come in. Swords to me represent air. That's the element they represent, but there's a lot of your mind associated with the suit of swords. There is an opportunity for a shift in perspective, okay? And it might not be ready to come through just yet. You're doing a lot of work. There's a lot that maybe you're having to personally unpack, and it's waiting for you. This shift is waiting for you. I feel like, and again, calling myself out here, I feel like a lot of us, when we intuitively know that we're changing or that we're shifting, there's some resistance that goes up because this is not comfortable. This is not okay. I'm not sure about this. Of course you're not sure about it because it's new. Okay? This is why I feel like this is number one, why we're being called to set down new roots. Excuse me. Because maybe the air in, I don't want to say that. There's a new field to water. We're in a new field. We're being called to set down new roots. Okay? And it's not comfortable yet because we haven't necessarily explored what this new field is going to be for us. But again, we're being asked to examine our self-worth. We're being asked to examine our inspirations, okay? Because in that regard, it's going to help us get to our ultimate goal, okay? But the shift is waiting to happen. We just need to figure out how to drop our resistance to it and let it work on us, okay? So there's the Ace of Swords in reverse. Okay. We also have the Knight of Swords. Eventually we're going to have to take action on it. But I feel compelled to say that the action we need to take needs to start gently. Okay, we can't go into it half-cocked, we can't make a half-baked decision. We do need to think. And we do need to observe, because remember, we have the Queen of Swords here. Give ourselves some space to do this work. I think I'm going to conclude that portion of the message there. Interestingly enough, that we have, I'm going to read this as a panther. I could be wrong. Leopard, listen, big cat energy. You got a lot of power here, okay? That power needs to be used gently. It needs to be gentle on ourselves right now because it's weird, it's uncomfortable. We don't know what's going to happen just yet, but we are being called to take action anyway, okay? So, being called to take action, especially getting into our thoughts, unpacking our thoughts, and and letting that shift happen. So there's the Knight of Swords. Okay. For the Queen of Swords, I am going to see the Queen of Pentacles. Once again, interesting. Once again, we have a nurturing growth energy, okay? And once again, when we let our thoughts shift, when we let our perspective shift, we'll be able to put down roots, okay? Interesting. We also, again, we have the Page of Swords. There's a lot of air and earth energy in this that I'm seeing. We also have 3 other decks, so I could be, at least right now, that's what I need to see. The Page of Swords, there's some lessons that still need to be learned. We are ready to take action, but we need to let ourselves internalize the lessons that we've been trying to absorb, okay? And what I said about taking action, I feel like this this character is ready to strike. They're holding the sword as if they're ready to strike something. But again, take it slow. Nurture your thoughts. Nurture yourself through this time. How are you going to do that? What's one thing that you would really like to do for yourself? What's one simple thing that you can do for yourself? Okay. Again, I'm getting that from this oracle here. Okay. Still some lessons learned, but we still some lessons to be internalized. Okay. But nurturing it, take it slow. Okay, because you're still growing. Okay. Here's the Page of Swords. Okay, let me see some clarifiers for our King of Coins. Remember, this was talking about our self-worth. Okay. Let me see. Okay. We have the Magician. Know that we have what it takes to... I love that. Okay. We have what it takes to make our own magic. We already have everything at our disposal to do this work. We already have what it takes to understand what it is we're about. Okay. We might not be feeling worthy. We might not be feeling at our most sparkly and shiny and pretty, but we don't need to be sparkly, shiny, or pretty. We're still growing. We're germinating. We're letting we're still germinating. We're still growing. Even if we have come up to this point, we're at this point for a reason. Okay? We do have what it takes. We have intuition enough to do what it takes. We have the emotion, the passion, the smarts, and the resources to do this work. Okay? Yes, we can. Yes, you can. Don't take my word for it. You know what you're about. Okay? So there's the Magician. We also have the King of Cups. So, you might be wearing your heart on your sleeve. And, I'm like that too. Again, howdy, friends. But you might be the kind of person that wears their heart on their sleeves, that feels everything. Maybe all at once. That's a disorienting feeling. Again, I've been there. But you have what it takes to understand your heart, your mind. You know how to feel your feels without necessarily being overwhelmed by them. And you're in authority over what you feel. Okay, you are an authority over what you feel. And again, that might be helping you administer your particular brand of magic, which I love to see it. I absolutely love to see it. So there is the King of Cups. I almost said Page of Cups. Not the right card. Here's the King of Cups. Okay. Let's see some clarifiers for our Three of Coins. Okay. We have the King of Swords again. No, that's King of Wands. Looking at the other card here. We have the King of Swords. So we're definitely smart. We've worked hard to get into the authority over our mental capacity. Again, we know what we're about. We know the thoughts we're thinking. We're working hard to, we know the thoughts we're thinking. We're working hard to not only take action on those thoughts, but that we are yeah, we're an understanding of them. So there is the King of Swords. We also have the Two of Swords. Yeah, there's some choices we need to make. But again, we're not having to make these choices alone. Okay? Because we already know, we already know what we're thinking. We already know what we're feeling. Okay? And now that we know there's a choice, now that we know what's on our mind about it, okay, let me show you the King of Swords. We can reach out, we can take this call, we can reach out and we can say, hey, here, let me share some things with you. We have this choice to make. Okay, here's how I'm thinking about it. What do you guys think? Okay, because remember the Three of Coins is about teamwork, about balancing new ideas with the old, and especially where it comes to reaching out to someone for a little bit of help and to gain some understanding. Okay. Ultimately, though, you have the power in your hands to make this choice. The trick for me with the Two of Swords is that you have the choice to make, but you're kind of held back because you're missing pieces. You have missing pieces of the puzzle that you have, that maybe meditating on, or in this case, going outwards of yourself to find those pieces. Now, that doesn't mean be a sheeple. That doesn't mean follow the crowd necessarily. Okay? That means ask for help, work in a team, give your ideas, balance your ideas with everybody else's. And that's a challenge, especially if you're working with different people, working with different people who might be challenging to you. But that's where your sense of balance needs to come in. Okay. So let's finally get some clarifiers for our King of Wands. Okay. All right. So we have the Ten of Swords. So the King of Wands, there's some endings. It might be the end of the line for some things, and yes, it might be painful. Let's not ignore the fact that whatever energy is leaving you it's going to hurt a little, and that's okay. Don't be afraid to lean into that pain a little bit. But remember that with every ending is a new beginning, okay? And in this case, I feel like saying in every ending, there's a new opportunity to let yourself shine a little more. Okay, and you might be saying, well, Meg, this sucks. Okay, you're saying all these things and they sound great, but I'm hurting. It's okay. It's okay. All right? It's okay. You're human. Of course, something you thought was going to stick around forever. It just, oftentimes that doesn't work. Okay, and it will, some endings are painful, and that's okay. I'm trying not to be diminishing here, but there is an ending that is happening, and what is falling away, what is pulling back is meant to pull back. Okay. Here's Ten of Swords. Okay. We also have the Seven of Pentacles. So there may be something that you're weighing options on. Like, was this effort worth what I lost? Okay. That's a decision only you can make. And ultimately, this finality, this ending is for you to navigate. Again, you're not doing it alone, and you have what it takes to do it, but I am sorry to see it, because at the end of the road, you're looking back and thinking, well, maybe was this worth the effort I put in? Was this worth the cost to me personally? Only you know the answer to that, and you might have to really, you're going to have to go deep and see what that might mean, what that would mean for you, okay? So, Ten of Swords, Seven of Pentacles. You were feeling passionately, very, very, very passionately about whatever whatever this was for you, and now that it's dimming a little bit, I can see how the pain comes in. I can see how you're asking, was it worth it? Okay. Let's get into another deck, because I have several here. Let's get into another deck and try and answer the question we got out of the Seven of Pentacles. Was this effort worth it? Okay. So we're going to use the Tarot of the Divine to get some expansion on that Seven of Pentacles. I don't want to leave this first part of the reading there. Ooh, okay. Nope, guess we're not riffle shuffling. Okay. Okay, so first things first, again, we're back to the choice here. Only you know whether it was worth it. You might be missing the pieces of the puzzle. You need to answer the question out of the Seven of Pentacles, okay? Only you know the answer to that question. And again, going back to the self-reflecting, in this case, go inward a little bit and see what you think about it. Remember that there is something shifting, okay? And remember that you're in command of your own thoughts. You're in command of your own ability to get rooted again after this. And again, you have what it takes, okay? So there's the Two of Swords. We still got a choice to make, okay? We also have, okay. We also have the Ten of Wands. I was reading this as Ten of Swords, but it is in fact the Ten of Wands. Doing this work, doing this reflection has come with a lot of responsibility, and there's a lot of burden. There's a lot of maybe stress that you're carrying on your shoulders because of this, and you're trying to answer the questions. And you know, I think that's admirable to try, but it's a lot. It's a lot. I would feel remiss in not tapping into that or not acknowledging that, because again, you might be thinking, I'm doing this work. I'm carrying everything on my back. I just saw a couple of parts of Encanto recently, and one of the characters is exactly like that. They're carrying so much. Maybe you are too. And it's heavy, but remember that you also have the Three of Pentacles in the earlier cards. You don't have to carry it alone. Okay, you might not be ready to reach out, and that's okay. But please don't forget that you have people on your side who will help you. Okay? This burden doesn't have to be carried. Yeah, this burden doesn't have to be carried alone. Okay? There's the Ten of Wands. again, we have the Magician coming back out. You have all the elements you need to do this work. Whether you see it or not, that's going to be a decision you make. But you already have everything you need at your disposal already. Okay, so there's the Magician. Okay, those were cards out of the center. Let's get our hidden and clarifying energy, and we'll see what goes on there. Okay. We have the King of Swords again. Wands. I want to say we have the King of Swords again, but again, we're in authority of our thoughts. Hang on here. Oh, no. We're in authority of our thoughts. We know what we have up top. Okay? We know what we're thinking. Yeah, you're in control. You're in control. And if you don't feel that way, that's fine too. Because I say that's fine too. I'm not acknowledging you are in control. And maybe you're more in control of that than you think you are. Give yourself some time to get to that point. Because this energy isn't going to happen right away. Okay? Maybe you were asking, well, how do I get into this level of control of my thoughts? I feel like that's going to be up to you to figure out what that might mean. Okay? So there's our hidden energy. There's the King of Swords. We also have the Two of Cups. Again, this is asking us to reach out, to reach out, because again, there's someone on your side. This is talking about harmonizing and unionizing and blending energies. Again, remember that we also have the Three of Coins, so working in a team, asking for help. Again, getting rooted. There's the Two of Cups, okay? So, yeah, again, is this energy worth it? Is doing this work worth it? It will be. I have a feeling it will be. We just need to allow ourselves the opportunity to feel our feels, to really give ourselves a chance to understand. And if we don't understand what's going on here, reaching out, ultimately reaching out. It would be remiss. Excuse me, it would be remiss of me not to acknowledge that there might be some unsafe things that you might be experiencing, and you might not have a lot of people you trust. Again, you have the choice to stay where you are or move on. Again, that's not a choice I can make for you. If faced with that decision, that's a choice only I would be able to make for myself. Okay? So, let's take a pause. Let's get a water break. Let's move this energy out. Let's see how we can close this portion, how we can close this reading out. I'd like to draw a few more cards for my tarots, and then I have a closing message from our oracles. So we'll see how this goes. Ooh, okay, we already have one popping off the top. Again, we have the Three of Cups. So, okay, if we're tapping into our simple pleasures here, enjoy your community. enjoy the people you have around you if you feel safe to. This is what I was talking about. There might be some unsafe people or some unsafe situations that are arising around you. You know what that looks like, but even if you go out of your home or sit in a park, for better or for worse, sit in a park and enjoy the company you're feeling, take a chance and enjoy your simple pleasures. Okay? So there's the Three of Cups. All right. We have the Four of Wands. Give yourself a reason to celebrate because you're working on building a new foundation. Okay? We also have the Six of Pentacles. Give yourself a chance to receive and give yourself a chance to be in a place of giving. Okay? All right. So putting all of that together, I think what this is saying here is if you really want to tap into your pleasures, you need to give yourself the chance to really step back and give yourself a chance to step back. You've done the most. I've also probably drawn the most here. You've done the most. Okay, give yourself a chance to rest. Let someone give to you as you have been giving to others. Okay? All right. Also, these were out of the Ethereal Visions deck. I don't know if I mentioned it, but I used the Tarot of the Divine for the last part of the explanation cards. Okay. Finally, we're going to, as far as our tarots go, we are going to be using the Radiant Rider. And let's see what comes out of that. So we've got give yourself a chance to celebrate. Give yourself a chance to rest. Okay. We also have the Hanged Man, which to me indicates, again, a shift in perspective. But in this case, it's surrendering to the process because this has been tough. This has been absolutely difficult. And again, it would be remiss of me to not acknowledge the difficulty in that. Okay? But you are, you're being asked to surrender. And I don't know if you can see that, but this person, in that surrender, this person's crown chakra is a lot brighter. And I'm going to assume that's the crown chakra, or I'm going to assume that's part of the understanding of this card. But working on letting the process happen is going to allow you to do the work here. Okay. We have surrender. We also have hard work. Yeah, heck yeah. This whole process of tapping in, being disciplined, tapping into who you are, understanding what's holding you back has, yeah, it's been hard. It's been hard, but you've done it, and you've done good. Okay? So, there is the Eight of Pentacles. Okay? We also have the Ten of Pentacles. So, you've achieved your goal. I think it's fair to say you've achieved your goal because now that you've put down the roots, you've grown, you've done the work to get here, and the reward is that you have everything you need to take care of yourself and to take care of others. But remember also that you have the Six of Pentacles. Yes, you can give, but you can also receive as well. Okay? Alrighty. So let's get into our closing oracle message. I hope that this has resonated with you in some way. If there was any confusion, or if you want to share your interpretations with me, my comments and my DMs are open. So please, please let me know what you guys think, and I would appreciate the feedback. All of my links and everything I've used is listed in the description. So, excuse me, to close this message, we have the full moon in Virgo, and right off the bat, it's saying you are good enough. Yes. You are good enough to get the work done that your cards are asking you to do. You're good enough to let it shine. Just let it shine. Let it shine. Okay? So there's the full moon in Virgo. We also have the Badger. This is calling us to bring our life into balance. Okay? So there's a lot of work to do. There's a lot of emotions attached to this. And I don't blame you for feeling weird about it. But yeah, keep going. You've done good so far. You are good enough. Okay? And finally, we have soaring into joy. Childlike wonder fills my life. You deserve to feel happy, and you deserve to feel good. And it is, there's a lot on your plate right now, and it's having you feel some kind of way. But I think ultimately what I'm hearing, what I'm hearing in my head is be gentle with yourself. You are enough. You have what it takes. You're not alone. You can do this. Okay. I'm going to leave it there, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. I will see you guys next week, and stay safe, stay healthy. I love you lots. Bye, everybody.